Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a startup called Strise.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're strapping on our detective hats and diving into the world of financial technology.
Oh, this should be good.
You sent us some intel on Strise,
Okay.
a company making waves, claiming they can automate anti-money laundering, or AML for those in the know.
Right.
You want to know if they're the real deal? Or just another flash in the pan,
Mhm.
and we're here to, well, figure that out.
Absolutely. AML is one of those things. Crucial, but often overlooked in finance,
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to see new players emerge,
Oh, sure.
especially ones promising to shake things up with automation.
Right, and Strise isn't pulling any punches.
Yeah.
They're calling themselves the automated winner.
Okay.
And promising to transform AML from a dreaded cost center into a winner.
Right.
But before we get too swept up in the hype,
Yeah.
let's break down why this even matters.
Exactly. Think of it this way. AML is essentially the financial world's first line of defense
Okay,
against bad actors.
against the bad guys.
Money launderers, terrorist financiers, you name it.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
all about making sure the money flowing through the system is clean, legitimate.
So no financing supervillains with ill-gotten gains.
Precisely.
I like it.
But traditionally, this fight against financial crime has relied on, a lot of manual labor.
Oh, I bet.
People combing through mountains of data, trying to connect the dots,
Yeah.
shell companies, suspicious transactions. It's a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, ripe for some kind of innovation.
Okay, so enter Strise with their promise of automation.
Right.
But do they actually live up to the hype?
That's the question.
Their website boasts some pretty eye-popping numbers.
Like what?
90% reduction in due diligence time, for example.
90%.
90%. Is that even possible?
It's ambitious, to say the least. To know if it's realistic, we need to dig into how Strise actually works.
Okay.
One of their key claims is streamlining customer onboarding, which is often a bottleneck in AML compliance.
Or onboarding. I've heard tales of paperwork avalanches and compliance officers drowning in a sea of forms.
It can be intense. How does Strise tackle that?
Well, they claim to automate much of the process.
Yeah.
Think instant data collection, automated risk assessments, and even automatically generated reports.
Wow.
Imagine the time saved, not to mention the reduced risk of human error.
Okay. Color me intrigued. But do we have any proof this isn't just smoke and mirrors?
Well, they do highlight a testimonial from Sparebanken Vest,
Sparebanken Vest.
a Norwegian bank,
Okay.
which reported significant time savings in their onboarding process thanks to Strise.
Okay.
So that's at least one data point suggesting this isn't just marketing fluff.
Interesting. So they're saying, don't just take our word for it. Look at what Sparebanken Vest achieved. Clever.
Right.
But faster onboarding is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
All right.
What about this whole unveiling hidden network risks business? Sounds like something out of a spy thriller.
It does, doesn't it? This is where Strise really leans into the power of AI.
And those nifty graph models we hear so much about these days.
Okay, break it down for us.
Okay.
We're no strangers to AI, but how does it actually help catch these financial masterminds?
Imagine a massive web connecting individuals, businesses, transactions, basically the entire financial ecosystem.
Okay.
Strise claims their AI can analyze this web, spotting patterns and connections that might, indicate money laundering. Think of it as connecting the dots on a massive scale.
So instead of just looking at individual transactions in a vacuum, they're analyzing the entire financial ecosystem
Exactly.
to spot those aha connections.
Right.
That's pretty impressive if it works.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to their credit, Strise does offer some real-world examples.
Okay.
BN Bank, another name mentioned in their materials,
Okay.
claims that Strise's system helps them detect suspicious activity before it even happens.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah,
Predicting financial crime before it even occurs.
that's the idea.
That's a bold claim, even for a, cutting-edge AI.
Sure.
It feels almost too good to be true, doesn't it?
It certainly highlights the potential of this technology.
Yeah.
But you're right to be cautious.
Right.
It's easy to, get caught up in the hype, especially with something as complex as AML.
And let's not forget, we're talking about serious matters here.
Absolutely.
This isn't just about saving time or optimizing processes.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, well, protecting the integrity of the entire financial system.
Absolutely. And that brings up another key aspect of Strice's platform.
Okay.
Perpetual monitoring.
Okay.
They really emphasize automating the ongoing due diligence process,
Okay.
continuously monitoring customer profiles and flagging any changes that might, raise red flags.
So it's like having a tireless watchdog constantly sniffing out suspicious activities.
Yeah.
No coffee breaks, no vacations,
Right.
just pure data-driven vigilance.
Exactly. And it seems to be a selling point for some. Vipps MobilePay, a major player in the mobile payment world, reportedly credits Strise with helping them implement a more efficient and risk-based approach to AML.
Okay, so we've got faster onboarding,
Right.
proactive risk detection,
Yep.
automated perpetual monitoring.
Uh-huh.
From what we've gathered, Strise seems to, tick all the boxes.
It seems that way.
They've even been recognized by PwC as one of the world's most innovative companies.
Oh, wow.
Are we ready to declare them the AML superheroes of fintech?
Not so fast.
Okay.
While Strise paints a compelling picture, it's crucial to remember that no technology is a silver bullet.
Right.
Especially in a field as nuanced and high stakes as AML,
Yeah.
there are always potential drawbacks
Sure.
and ethical considerations to, keep in mind.
You're right. We can't just get swept up in the excitement of shiny new tech.
Right.
What are some of those potential downsides we need to keep in mind?
Well, one concern, and it's one that often comes up with AI, is over-reliance.
Okay.
Algorithms are powerful tools, but they're not infallible.
Right.
There's always the risk of errors or biases creeping into the system,
Yeah.
or even criminals finding new ways to exploit loopholes.
It's like a technological arms race.
Yeah, kinda.
As the good guys develop new defenses, the bad guys are working just as hard to find ways around them.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder, how do we ensure that these AML systems are truly secure and trustworthy?
That's a crucial question.
Yeah.
And one that Strise seems to address head on.
Yeah.
They emphasize their commitment to security, highlighting their SOC2 certification,
Right.
which, as you may know, is a rigorous independent audit confirming they meet strict security standards.
Okay, so they're not just throwing technology at the problem and hoping for the best.
No.
They've taken steps to make sure their systems are secure and their data is protected.
Right.
But what about transparency?
Sure.
If an AI is making critical decisions about potential financial crime,
Yeah.
don't we need to understand how those decisions are being made?
Absolutely. Black box algorithms simply won't cut it in this arena.
Right.
Regulators and financial institutions need transparency
Yeah.
to ensure accountability and maintain public trust.
So no rogue AI making judgment calls in the shadows.
Ideally not. And it seems Strise understands this need for transparency.
Yeah.
They emphasize their use of explainable AI,
Okay.
suggesting they've built their systems with accountability in mind.
Okay.
But of course, the devil is always in the details.
That's where those real-world case studies become even more crucial, right?
Absolutely.
We need to go beyond the marketing claims and see how Strice's solutions perform in the real world with all its messy complexity.
Precisely. While Strise does mention several case studies,
Okay.
the information we have is, limited.
Go on.
They highlight Vipps MobilePay's successful implementation, for example,
Yeah.
but they don't delve into the specifics.
It's like giving us a sneak peek through a keyhole, enough to pique our interest, but not enough to satisfy our curiosity.
Right.
What about the other case studies they mentioned, Sparebanken Vest and BN Bank?
Yeah.
Do we have any more concrete details about those? So we've got these tantalizing glimpses into how Strise has helped some big names, but not the full picture.
Right.
It feels like we're missing some pieces of the puzzle.
We are. They mentioned Sparebanken Vest achieving significant time savings during customer onboarding, which kind of echoes what we saw earlier.
Yeah.
And BN Bank reportedly reduced false positives by 30%
Okay.
and sped up onboarding by a whopping 70% using Strice's technology.
Those are some impressive numbers.
Yeah.
But as always, the devil's in the details.
Right.
What were their specific challenges?
Yeah.
How did Strice's solutions address those challenges?
Yeah.
And perhaps most importantly, did those benefits actually translate into tangible improvements in their overall AML effectiveness?
Excellent questions.
Right.
And unfortunately, ones we can't fully answer with the information we have.
Okay.
Strise provides links to learn more, which suggests they're not trying to hide anything.
Right.
But it does mean our deep dive has hit a bit of a wall in terms of, independently verifying those claims.
That's always a little frustrating. But it's a good reminder that even in the age of instant information, due diligence still matters.
Absolutely. If you're seriously considering Strise or any similar AML solution, you'd want to roll up your sleeves and do some digging.
Right.
Talk to existing customers. Request detailed case studies. Perhaps even consult with, independent AML experts.
Essentially, don't just take their word for it. Kick the tires a bit.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the bigger picture.
Okay.
The world of AML is evolving rapidly.
It is.
Technology like Strice's has the potential to, revolutionize how we combat financial crime.
Yeah.
But it's not a magic bullet.
It feels like we're at a crossroads.
No way.
Yeah. On the one hand, we have this promise of AI and automation, offering greater efficiency, enhanced risk detection, and maybe even the ability to stay one step ahead of the bad guys.
Right.
But on the other hand, we have to consider the potential pitfalls, the ethical considerations,
Of course.
and the need for, human oversight and critical thinking.
It's a balancing act, isn't it?
It really is.
And ultimately, it's up to each institution, each player in the financial ecosystem to decide how they want to navigate this new landscape.
Well said. This deep dive has been a wild ride.
It has.
We've gone from paperwork avalanches to AI-powered watchdogs, from bold claims to the importance of due diligence.
And through it all, I think we've uncovered some valuable insights.
Yeah.
Strise certainly presents a compelling case.
They do.
And their technology holds, a lot of promise.
It does.
But like any tool, it's only as good as the people wielding it.
Right.
And the process is in place to ensure it's used responsibly and effectively.
Couldn't agree more. For you listening, we hope this deep dive has given you a solid understanding of the evolving landscape of AML and the role technology like Strice's is playing.
And remember, whether you're a fintech enthusiast, a seasoned investor, or just someone who wants to make sure your money is in good hands, staying informed and asking critical questions is crucial.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, especially in the world of finance.
For sure.
That's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Until next time, keep those sources coming, and we'll keep the insights flowing.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.